Outed at 60, divorce, starting over. Are you ready for part two? Welcome to Coffee with Gays. Matt's story continues, now live on YouTube and every podcast platform. If you haven't watched part one, you absolutely need to. It's truly an unbelievable story. One night, a guy stole Matt's phone, outed him, and just like that, 35 years of marriage was over. But what stuck with me the most about this story is what really came after. We were here in Dallas, and Matt said to me when we were hanging out at our bar roundup, he said he used to go to gay bars and cruise, and he'd order his quote unquote gay drink, a Bacardi and Coke, which I found very funny, and look for a hookup. And while he was looking around, everyone else was laughing, dancing, and just living. And he really just envied them because they were free and they were a part of a community. And he looked at me that night and he said, now that I'm out, he said, Blaine, I'm finally free and I'm a part of this community. That moment really just hit me because we have come a long way in this country. Matt just couldn't come out in the 90s. Matthew Shepard, who I did a series on because of them, he was murdered in 1998. He was tied to a fence and brutally beaten to death for being gay. And it took 11 more years to pass the Matthew Shepard and James Byrd Jr. Hate Crimes Act. That was 2009. But it passed. Since then, we've won marriage equality, and the Respect for Marriage Act passed, partially codifying marriage for gay people. We've come light year. And yet, the other day, I was watching The View, and Whoopi Goldberg had the nerve to say that modern-day America is less safe than Iran. She literally claimed that gay people are being dragged behind cars to this day. She must have confused what happened to James Byrd Jr. with what is happening today in modern day America. Look, I'm not saying hate doesn't exist, but this is just not true. This country is not doom and gloom for our community, and we shouldn't erase how far we've come. Let me give you some real perspective. I met a guy when I was in Spain. He's from the new Middle East, and he's in his late 50s, attractive, successful, but he's moving to Europe. Why? Because if he stays back home, he could lose his job and potentially his life. That is the reality for millions. So no, Whoopi, we have it pretty damn good here. Is there work to do? Absolutely. But I refuse to demonize the people who've grown, changed, and embraced us because I've seen the progress with my own eyes in just 20 years of me being out personally. Look, I digress. I'll end my rant, comment all you want. That said, I'm just glad that Matt can finally live his truth. And I hope you enjoy part two of Matt's story. His life now as a gay man at 60, finally living the life he's always dreamed of. Drop your story in the comments. Drop your opinion of what I just said. And please follow Coffee with Gays for more stories like Matt and more conversations because we need to have them out loud in the open. And by the way, happy Pride.